And we're back.
Yeah, we are.
Alright, what's up, everybody? It's been a couple month hiatus since we've done this together, and we are back in the thing.
We back in the jig.
Back in the jig. Yup. It's been a couple of months, handful of life changes. Today, our topic is going to be rebirth, so we'll be checking in back to that when we get sidetracked, which is inevitable.
I mean, good conversations usually have some kind of sidetracked moment.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what makes it genuine, anyways.
Yeah.
So we've missed you guys, missed being on the screen, and
For
all the
sure.
conversations that come with it. Look forward to hearing the feedback. Definitely let us know. Please drop us a like if you don't mind to. That kind of stuff helps us out a whole lot. So, what's been going on with you?
Oh man,
How was your rebirth?
my rebirth is going pretty well. I've delved deeply into my psyche and have had some not so good moments and some really good moments. But for the most part, I'm back in therapy, which is really nice. I love therapy and I love what I learned from it. So really, I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned the past couple months is not everybody deserves their vulnerability.
Absolutely. Boundaries have to be drawn. Boundaries have to be respected. One way, both ways.
Absolutely.
Every way it be. Yeah. That's all you had on that one?
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough. I think I've learned a lot on that same front, actually. I've become a lot more my own person than I've ever really been in my life, and that's been really beneficial to me and who I am and where I want to take myself. Opportunity is abundant right now in ways I never really knew it could be, and that's a beautiful thing. It's all because I woke up and I allowed myself that awakening, if you will, rebirth into the person that I've seen myself becoming, but I think in a lot of ways been afraid to allow myself to become. And sometimes when there are people that are close to you with strong opinions, or like, in a way we all look up to somebody or some people one way or another, and as long as you hold on to those things really, really tightly, like, you do in a way cut yourself short,
You do.
And I think there's a short leash there, and definitely a lot of fine lines. Like, you have to be ready and prepare yourself to make that jump, but
It's hard to get out of that too whenever you are around somebody who's strong-minded and maybe you're not used to, being that strong-minded, or they're like a mentor for you in some way. But I feel like those of us who really embrace the healing journey at some point feel that turning inside of ourselves and the aching for more, whether that be trying to get closer, being more vulnerable. And sometimes it doesn't always work out.
not in the long run. But either way, it's an important thing and it's a beautiful thing. And I think the reason we're going through this in our, I wish I could say late 20s, but early 30s here, is, because we didn't really have that structure growing up, so we found people that we cared about and they cared about us back, that would help us become the people that we are meant to be. And I think no matter where we land with those people, or no matter what happens over the course of life, we will forever hold them dear in our hearts and be very, very grateful for the things that they gave to us, because we could have never had them without you, and we love you for that. Thank
Absolutely.
you. And I hope they all watch and see this, and they know from the bottom of our hearts that we mean that.
Absolutely.
But now we're on the other side of that fence, so here we go, blossoming into the people that we're going to become. And honestly, I thought I was going to be afraid of taking that next step in life, that jump, and becoming more, I think a lot of people get to a stagnated point in life and they just view things as flat. This is how it is. Well, this is my everyday. And I've always been the type that's like, man, nope, forget that. Like, my brother was trying to get me to work at Walmart. He was like, oh, you're between jobs? You could totally come get a job here stocking shelves. And I was like, I would rather take the Niagara Falls on a really, really not cool note. Like, I could never do that.
Yeah.
It's not something that I could allow myself to do. For one, like, working for a corporation like that just is so, like, it would break me. It would break me on the inside, because I so wholeheartedly believe in supporting the little people, because that's what it's all
community.
about. It is, man. Like, everybody having that American dream and being able to live it out. Like, that is a beautiful thing. And it's valuable, that's always meant something to me. So
I feel like I'm a little bit like, I've just started that process that you've been going through for a couple months now. a bit longer than me. So I'm at the starting edge, and I've noticed myself waking up out of the facade that I've been living in with, like, people that have been in my life for a long time. That aching for more finally showed up, and I needed deeper understanding, figure out the deeper truth of why I felt this way, why I acted this way, like, what is behind my behaviors. Actually, I do want to mention probably another big thing that I found in my rebirth. I'm reading this book, The Power of Now, by Eckhart Tolle.
I feel like Eckhart Tolle has come up in conversation.
Man, like, it's incredible.
He's a holy man?
He's a holy man.
Holy man.
One of the biggest things I figured out is, like, you guys know my struggles with PTSD. Those usually send you back in time. You're not very present with it.
In your conscious mind.
Yes.
Or subconscious mind in this case, actually, because consciously you can't figure out what's going on.
Yeah. No, it's like a tornado in your brain, and you can't hold on to one little thing. And you have to let it, like, a little bit run its course until it's, like, seasoned out, or just, anyways, it's a whole process. But in this book, in the first 2 chapters, he talks about being present with your body. So whenever you feel an emotion rise up, instead of placing thoughts on it, what you're doing is you're just watching that emotion. Where does it show up in your body? Where do you hold that?
Mindfulness. You
Yes.
practice mindfulness of your emotional pathway.
So it's just feeling that instead of giving. So what thoughts do is it energizes that train.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
It's so cool whenever,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
it's life-changing.
It is.
I can, like, it's a practice reading this book even. They go even more in depth about it, and I'm only 2 chapters in. I do have a habit of starting books and then jumping to another book. I'm reading, like, 3 books right now.
Got things you want to learn, man.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You come back to it when it serves you best and when you have those questions.
Yeah.
That's what books are for.
But, oh, that was incredible to figure out, because then I was like, oh, that's why I'm struggling so bad right now. I'm not living in the present. But, I don't know. Knowledge is power.
You're not subconsciously in that very moment living in the present,
Yes.
correct? Yeah. And that's definitely important to note, because emotional control or emotional self-awareness is huge.
Yes.
That's such a big deal, and that's one of the ways that I've been able to just be such a good communicator my entire life, is I don't let these things affect me when I first feel them, when I experience them, when they tell you, walk away, calm down, come back to your situation. That has so much more truth than what we even know and what we even talk about. Like, and the reason you do that is because you are subconsciously, which is the decision maker of your life, not in that moment at that particular point in time, and you are completely incapable of making positive conscious decisions. That's why blow-ups and just all these crazy, horrible, terrible things happen in the moment. Like, any emotion you experience, have it, choke it back, and then understand it. Deal with it.
Yes.
Learn from it. Why did I feel this way? What is it? Was somebody stepping on my toes? Or did I just have a moment myself? You know, did the day catch up to me? Did you stub your toe getting out of bed? I hate it when I stub my bed. I like to be safely in tow. Like, you know, that's really the way to live. You know, but you have to evaluate these emotions and ask yourselves these questions. Like, is this me, or was this actually a situation that's worth, you know, notating, hey, in the future, you can't talk to me like that. I'm not going to accept it. I'm not going to allow, you know, myself to be treated this way. And that's where I think, especially on the topic of rebirth, that comes in a lot, you know, because a lot of this isn't just we're moving into different chapters in our life. It's we found that we weren't allowing ourselves to live fully to our full potential in both of our situations, you know, like there were certain ways we were cutting ourselves short, and to be aware of that and now be able to make decisions for our futures that positively impact us, because we finally learned how to put ourselves and our own well-being and the things we care about personally first. That is just completely...
It's life-changing.
It is, yeah.
I think also whenever you go on this path and this journey, practicing all the things that we've talked about, you'll find along the way that you can't take everybody with you. And I think that was probably one of the hardest lessons for me, is as much as I want to help people and love people and bring them with me along my life path. I am now at the age where I understand what you said years ago about sometimes friends fall off. Sometimes people just fall off. And it's not because either of you is bad per se. It's just two different perspectives in an ever-changing world.
And that's how it works. Life is about a constant flow of people, of everything, interactions in and out, and that's just the way that things go, you know? I still firmly and always have believed that everything happens for a reason, one way or another. People come into our lives, people leave our lives, and life happens the way that it happens. And
sometimes the reason is them, sometimes the reason is you, sometimes the reason is just because.
I'm still on a bigger picture on that one personally.
Yeah?
There's lessons to be learned, there's experiences to be had together, apart, and togetherness and being apart all teach us lessons in those situations. So looking at it from above, what I would say in that circumstance is, you know, we were meant to have these experiences that we had just as well as we're meant to grow apart. You know, like,
I believe it's also,
something.
I guess for me, like free will.
Yeah,
we all
sure.
have free will. So whatever, like, that's just the law of the universe. There's a cause and effect.
And the idea of linear time, but we don't have to get into that.
No, we can do that another time. But there's a cause and effect, right?
Yes.
You make a choice. There's another book I'm reading that talks about this. But yeah, you make a choice, and then all these other outcomes are here.
Action,
so what
reaction.
timeline are you going on?
But regardless, we end up in the one that we're consciously aware of,
Yes.
in which case we must reflect and evaluate our own situations and
Yeah.
learn to cope with things, because it's not easy to have people come and go from your life, or even to come and go from situations, you know? Anything that carries energy that affects you and your emotional well-being or your energy is a process to take in or let go of. And living day-to-day life with a finite amount of energy every single day, it's important to learn how to manage that and know what you can handle and what you can't.
Absolutely. And that's our choices.
Yep, for sure. I'm pretty happy with our talk so far. Is there anywhere you wanted to go with this in particular? Anything you've had on your mind that you want to get
No
out?
expectations. I'm living in the moment.
Word. How about that? So we're just flowing straight on into our future, and I feel like that was a decent, good little spiel on how how
Yes.
we're doing things.
Midwestern goodbye,
Midwestern
guys.
goodbye, yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I don't know how to close it up, but we're happy to be back, and you'll see a lot more of us. We want to do a lot more live stuff too, is the plan. Hopefully in the future. We're still talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, let's jump back into this for a minute, get our flow back, and then we'll get some live.
No promises. All right. Much love and appreciation, you guys. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for tuning in.
And again, leave us some comments, leave us some feedback, some responses. Talk to us about anything you want to talk to us about, no matter who you are, no matter what you got to say. We appreciate and love you all. And until next time.
Namaste.